So let's talk for a second about cause and effect of your takeaway and what it causes in your golf swing, along with the assessments that we did. So in the assessments, we had this device. Hop on up here for 1 second. We're gonna grip this again, just so you can see this on the camera. So we set your wrist. I'm gonna hinge up. See how it's super shaky, right? And I keep going. You can't let that. Okay. Go here. I come this way. Stronger, but if I keep pulling, it probably feels like you got to work a good bit, right? Palm a little more on top, right there. That was your strongest. Okay. So your hand. Now go ahead and stand back over there for a second. So your palm was the strongest, kind of in between. Imagine a basketball. On top, we don't want to be there for you. Side, close. You're a little bit that way. And you can see your elbow wants to go there a little bit in your golf swing. But it's also because of something you do in your backswing. So you had your grip before. Your right hand tended to get a little bit under. So your palm was pointing a little bit out to the right. And we fought a release pattern that was way out and flippy through the ball. A lot of rightward hand path instead of neutral to leftward hand path. So you get set up, instead of being here, we're going to put your palm here. The reason being, we want to exert force opposite of the palm. We talked about that in the lesson team. So we don't do push-ups this way, right? We do push-ups this way. That would hurt, right? Had wrist surgery, that would really hurt, right? So we want to push this way. So by putting your palm instead of under to encourage that type of release pattern, we're going to put it a little more over to encourage that more, a little bit more left of a release, okay? And you can exert more force that way. You got the ball higher and further by doing that, okay? So now the wrist hinge that you did, just feeling a little bit more of a 45 and feeling like your right palm is slightly down in this position. If you want to finish your golf swing, you can, just then pivot and get to the top, keeping your hand here. All right, now your backswing, let's talk about that for a second. Imagine the teeter-totter again. So there's your teeter-totter. I pull the handle, the club goes up. I lift the handle, the club goes down. Okay? You get here. Your hands go out, club comes in. Now I'm exaggerating. Club gets flat versus the shaft plane that we drew and the elbow plane that we drew. So if I get here, remember your pattern wants to go this way, and then you're a good golfer, so you go this way. You're a good player, you go, oh no, that's too steep. Like Goldilocks. So you go this way and then that way. Okay? So you do that because you get here, and if you get here, and then if I hold this here, pull in the fulcrum, see how the shaft steepens a little bit, and then you shallow it by the body motion going that way and your hand path going that way. Does that make sense? Okay. That's your pattern before we met, when we first met for lesson number 1. Okay? So we want to change it just a little bit to where the takeaway is a little more neutral, your right hand's a little more on top. Oopsies, that's one. So a little more neutral. And we're getting that shaft in a window here versus flat. Like I remember that window between my hands right here instead of flat and laid off. So that way when you pull, now the shaft can shallow, your palm is slightly on top, and you can exit that club left. So you're feeling through the ball a cover. So like the palm thing, we're gonna do that in 1 second. Cover, and then we added the push. Okay, because I don't want you to just cover. You're gonna dig. Right? So we added a steepener, we need to add a shallow. So you're getting here into a better position from here. Club shallows, palm slightly on top. Now we're covering, we're pushing. The covering and pushing here, by pushing, it automatically makes my hands go where? Up and left, not out and right. Okay? This is a Zach Johnson pattern. You didn't screen like Zach Johnson. So we can't mesh the two together and expect to hit good golf shots or have control, as much control over it. You can, but you're not going to have as much control. That make sense? Okay, so real quick recap. We get here, neutral takeaway, grip is a little bit more on top with the right hand. Left hand's just fine. A little more neutral, set the shaft a little more vertical. Just a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit. Okay? You get here, you're covering, push, and get into your finish. Okay? So real quick, come in here, let's do the palm thing, no club, just remember the palm thing we did?
Yep.
Okay, so you're here, set your arm right there you go. Push. Push. There you go, now push off the ground. Push, there you go, see how you push my hand even further by just going like this, right? Because try to do it with your arm, just your arm. Come on. Can't do it, can you? Now, use your body. There you go, now push, oh God. Okay, so, but you have more force by going here and then using the ground to push off of it, right? You can't just like, I'm gonna get it. No, you're not gonna win that fight. You're not gonna win that fight. There. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those, I know it's a deep dive, a lot of information, but I want you, this is what we're gonna unpack over the next year, okay?